All right. Yes. Hello, hello, and welcome to the first breakout session of Spaces Summit 2024. How are you feeling today? Excited by the plenary talks and all the great talks that you're going to see today? All right, let's go. So you've made an excellent choice coming to the bedrijfsschool, where Patricia is going to tell her story of how she hacks her parenting. And I have two little ones at home, so I am really, really interested in what's coming. And I know time management is a thing, so here's Patricia.
Yes, thank you. So, who of you is combining being a parent and also making a career? Sort of. And who sometimes struggles with that? Me too. Who is curious about how I do it as a single mother of four, also making career? So, who am I? I'm born in '83. I'm here together with my mom. I'm raised with my sisters, my father, and my mother in Wijk bij Duurstede, which is a small village, like 20 minutes from Utrecht, 25 minutes. I bought my first house in 2006 with my then boyfriend. I have two kids with him. I will call him M1. And I married in 2013 with him. I got divorced. I have an M2. And I bought a farmhouse together with him in 2018. And I also have two kids with him. And now, since 2023, I'm a single mother of four, living in Elst. Then my kids. My oldest son is 17 years old. His name is Sebastian. He likes to go for a ride with a mountain bike. He's studying for becoming a software engineer. Hey. So I did something good there. And he's working at the Appie. He's a sweet guy. He helps around. And of course, he likes gaming. Then you have Thomas, who is 14 years old. He brings the leaflets where you can see all the discounts to the neighborhood. That's his job where he earns some money with. He's a social guy. He's in the third year of the secondary school. And he also likes the game. Surprise, surprise. Then you have Thijs, my 5-year-old son. He's just in the second year of the primary school. He likes to play soccer, and he's always outside. He wants to just play around. He's a really smart guy, and sometimes annoying, but in a good way. And then you have Elisa, my little princess. She is a tough girl, because she's raising up with 3 big brothers, right? So she's tough, but she's also likes to dress up, have dresses. I'm not like that. So I don't know from who she has this, but she is really my sweet little princess. Then if you look to my career, I studied media technology. I started as a developer at a company that did something with viral marketing back then. I went to become a project manager pretty quickly because I really liked the hectics of projects and budgets and customers complaining, etc., etc. So I moved from one company to the other. I was already an engineering manager at Bol at the search domain. Then I got the opportunity to become a CEO at the company that I used to work before at Infi. And I thought, wow, that's awesome, because I really want to be the boss somewhere, the end boss, right? And I was having the opportunity to do it. So I did it, and I remember that she called me on Friday and she said, yeah, Patricia, we chose you and you can be the CEO. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then I hang up, and then the next day I found out I was pregnant. I was like, oof. Yeah, that's nice also, but the timing is not that good, because I will start a new job, and how will I do this? And well, on Monday we needed to do some negotiation about salary and stuff. They're like, I have some small ingredient that I need to put on the table. And they reacted pretty good, of course, because otherwise I would not work there, because I need to work in a place where I can be a mom also. And now I'm back at Bol as an engineering manager again. So you probably know that the outside world expects a lot of us. We need to be a good wife or a good husband. We need to be good friends with people. We need to be a good mother or a good father. We need to be a good sister or a brother. We need to be doing some community work. We need to do sports. We need to play an instrument. We just need to do a lot. And how do you combine all of these things together? Let me get you through my 4 hacks to combine all of this. So the first thing is me time. Everybody in this room needs me time. And you need it every day. Not only one day in a week or once in a month. No, every time, every day, you need me time. Can be 5 minutes, can be an hour, but at least there needs to be some me time. But how do you do this? Let me guide you to a normal day at my house. So kids are sleeping, they need to wake up. They need to have some breakfast. We need to make some stuff to go to the school. They need to put their clothes on. They need to brush their teeth, of course. They need to put their shoes on. Then we need to walk the dogs. Yes, I'm also having 2 dogs next to 4 kids. Then everybody in the car, drive to the school, get them out of the car, make sure that they enter the school, then get in the car, drive to the office, do a lot of meetings, go back with the car to my home, then do some groceries with the kids, do some cooking, have dinner together, then brush the teeth again, do some bedtime stories, bring them to bed, do some homework with Thomas, have a chit-chat with Sebastian in the evening, walk the dogs again, of course, and then crash on the couch. It's like 9 o'clock, and if I stay there, in 5 minutes, I will sleep. And this is just an ordinary day, right? In this day, there was no things like going to the dentist, having a doctor appointment, having a play appointment with a friend, going to swimming class, no soccer training. No, just an ordinary, peaceful, quiet day, you could say. But then when? When do I have the time to have this me time? Because, like you saw, my agenda is pretty packed. Last year, I read the book Miracle Morning. Some of you maybe know it, but I really thought this is an inspiring book. This guy, Hal Elrod, has been through a lot in his life. And what he is saying is like, before 8 o'clock in the morning, you need to have your me time. And then I was like, how do I do that? And I need to wake up even earlier than I already do. But I start doing it. So I wake up at 6 every morning. And then I start to do my routine. What he is saying is like, you need to do all of this. Like have some silence time, do some affirmations, do some visualizations, do some exercise, reading and scribing. And then you have the Savers method. That is what he is aiming for in his book. I'm skipping some of this. I made it my own. But the most important thing is I do it every morning. So I wake up at 6, have a walk with my dogs, which is nice. Nobody is awake. I can peacefully walk. Then I do some reading, I do some writing, and I do sometimes some breathing exercise or some meditation. And then it's 7 o'clock, kids wake up, and I already have 1 hour of me time in my pocket, right? I don't need to wait until the night or be tired at the couch at 9 o'clock. No, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I had my me time for this day already. And I feel good because then my energy is good. And if the kids wake up, their energy is good also. And I can have more. I'm more peaceful. I'm less stressed. And I'm so much better as a mom at that moment. The other thing, which sounds pretty obvious, is make sure you have a babysitter. So thanks to Suus, I have a babysitter now, because I was really struggling with it. It was difficult, because you're like, okay, who do I trust my kids? And then you have this usually girls, but sometimes boys from the neighborhood, they do babysitting, but yeah, I don't know, it's my kids. I don't trust my kids to everybody, right? And then she mentioned me a platform, I subscribed myself, and now I have a babysitter who's coming every Tuesday evening from 7:30 to 9:30. She take care of the kids. And I can go swimming, go to a friend, have another coffee, or do another walk, but just some extra me time every week for me, which is important. Then, my second hack is kids learn by doing. You're waving. It's for me? On the end. I will remember. Kids learn by doing. So I really believe that kids learn a lot if they are allowed to do things. And then that's the way they grow. So for example, Thijs task is to feed the dogs. He needs to do it in the morning and in the evening, every day again. And sometimes he's complaining like, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like. I say like, do you want to have dinner tonight? Yes. Okay. The dogs also like to have dinner tonight, so you need to do it. And then he's doing it. But he has the responsibility, right? So he's growing like, okay, I need to do something important because this dog needs food every day. And sometimes he's missing one, and then they vomit because they have like a lot of, I say, empty stomach. But he learns from that, and I think it's important that he learns to do things. The same with Sebastian. So in my farmhouse, which I had with M2, we had a big garden, like 5,000 square feet. It was almost everything was grass, so you needed to mow like once a week, sometimes even twice a week, which was not so nice job, to be honest. I will never have a house with a big garden like that anymore, unless I have somebody who can keep it maintained for me. But we bought this riding mower. The first time I liked to do it myself because I've never done it before, so it was nice. And the second time, like, well, I don't like to do it. It takes a lot of time. But he liked it, of course. So I said to him, like, okay, it's your responsibility now to make sure that the grass is always at a good height, right? That you mow it whenever it's needed. And then sometimes he did it great. Sometimes he didn't do it. Then it started to get high, and then you cannot get through anymore. So he needed to do it like triple time. But he learned how to do it, and he also gained responsibility with this. And I really think that's important, even though it's also dangerous, right? You have like the water next to it. It's a big machine. There is like knives underneath it, of course, to cut the grass. But he did it, and I'm proud that he could do it and he could manage it. And then you have Thomas, who really is in love with chicken. We were on holiday, and then this chicken was sitting on his shoulder like for hours, and then he said like, Mom, I want to have chicken. I said, okay, you can have chicken, but I'm not going to do anything for this chicken. You need to make sure that they have food. You need to make sure that their house is clean. You need to make sure that they stay in the house and that they don't walk through my whole garden. Yes, yes, I will do this. So we bought 4 chicken and a rooster. And he started doing it. We already had the house, so he started feeding them, collecting the eggs, and then he thought like 4 eggs every day. We will never eat that. Maybe I can start selling this egg. So he started selling the eggs around the neighborhood, but then he started to have some customers that wanted eggs every week. So he said like, okay, with the money I earn, Mom, I'm gonna buy more chicken because I need to scale up, because otherwise, I cannot facilitate my customers. They want to have eggs every week, so that's okay. So we started with 4, and quickly we had more. But then if you have more, they want to have more space. So eventually they were walking all over the garden, right? You see Thijs here, like a small boy. Chicken are walking all around, which was nice because it's a nice animal. But the shit that they produce is horrible, right? It's even worse than from a dog. And sometimes they were also close to Elisa's head, like, oof. So I said to Thomas, like, no, hey, this was your responsibility. You were supposed to take care that they were only staying in their own place, right? That they could not go enter the house or be at the couch with your sister. So we discussed how to do it, and he did it. And in the end, we had 18 chicken and a rooster. It was a lot of work also. And I asked him yesterday, like, what was it that you learned from this chicken adventure? And then he said, like, I thought it was going to be easy. I could just sell the eggs, earn money. But man, it was a lot of work and a big responsibility. Even in bad weather, I needed to go twice to the chicken, feed them. And I learned that the responsibility was big, but that I could do it. And that if I needed your help, you were there for me to help me. So I really believe that kids learn by doing. Give them some responsibility and they will start growing. Then the third thing is they don't need to walk your road. You have been walking a road, right? You are here in this room. You've gained some age. You did a lot. You sometimes went to the left where you maybe think like, ooh, I could have better gone to the right. And we all want to have the best for our children, right? We want them to have a good job. We want them to be happy, have a nice wife or husband or boyfriend or girlfriend, a good house, which is almost impossible in this time, but we want them to develop good. And then what you sometimes tend to do is the mistakes that you made, you want to prevent them from making the same mistakes. But you cannot prevent them from making mistakes because that's their learning road, that's their track. And I had that with Sebastian. So when he went to the secondary school, he didn't like to study. And he was just aiming for the 5.5, just passing it on the lowest degree that you, or the lowest number that you can pass it. And it frustrated me. I thought like, oh man, you're wasting your future. You have so much more in you and you're not doing anything with it. Why are you doing this? You can have the whole world, but because of all of this, and I know that all these degrees are so important in the Netherlands, please start doing things. And we started to argue about it, have discussions about it. And then I realized that when I was like around 16, 17, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to drop out school. And I had a conversation with Mom about it. I said like, Mom, I don't like to go to school anymore. I don't know why I need to learn all this stuff. It's totally irrelevant. Let me just go to work. And then she said like, yeah, but Patricia, come on. And she gave me all these arguments why it was better to have school and have a degree. But she ended everything, and I will never forget that. She ended everything with like, but if you want to go to work, okay, put on your shoes. We're going to go to the grocery store now. We're going to buy a newspaper, and we're going to search for a job. And then I thought like, no, I just think I want to stick with school. But the thing is, she didn't force me in her road. She didn't force me in like, you need to go to school. And that's when I realized like, oh, I am doing that now with Sebastian, which is not good. So I stopped doing it, and I thought like, okay, you will find your own road. It doesn't need to be my road, it's your road. And the only responsibility which we are having as a parents is be there if they fall or if they struggle. Then our responsibility is to help them picking them up again. It's not our responsibility to make sure that they walk your road. No, it's our responsibility to make sure that they can walk their own road, but that you pick them up if it's necessary. And if I look to Sebastian now, he graduated with 5.5 with everything, which was fine. He made it, right? But now he's like in the school to become a software engineer. It's like a 3 years education, and he can do it in 2 years. So he's fast forwarding it now, and he really likes it. So I'm already seeing like, okay, if you like it, if you're passionate about something, then you can do it. So let them walk their own road. And then the last thing is, you need to decide where it is that you want to be the best. You can only be the best at one thing, right? There's only a certain amount of energy that you can spend. And you can only be the best at one thing. I want to be the best mom ever. I have 4 amazing kids, and I think they deserve the best. So I want to be the best mom ever. So whoever is in this audience, and I'm the manager of, sorry, I'm not going to be the best manager. I'm going to be good though, but not the best, because I want to be the best mom. And I can only be one, and I think that's important. That you realize and you make the decision where it is that you want to be the best. So if one of my kids call me now and there's something wrong, I will just say thank you and I will move out. And everybody will respect that. But I will also make this decision if they have like a small musical kind of thing on the primary school where they can be like 10 minutes on the stage, or if they have a soccer match, or if it's their birthday and they want me to be there in the afternoon to eat cake with them. So not only for the big things, but also for the small things, because I want to be the best mom ever. And I can only be that if I really committed to it. So if you summarize everything up, I think it's important to have me time every day again. Doesn't need to be a full hour, can be a couple of minutes, like 5 or 10 minutes, but you need it every day. Kids learn by doing, so think about what they can do. They really need some space to grow. They don't need to walk your road. Your only responsibility is picking them up or help them standing up again if they fall down. And you need to decide where it is that you want to be the best. And then, always remember, never feel guilty. You are the only parent for your kids. Without you, your kids wouldn't be there. And if you feel good, they will feel good. if you feel bad, they will feel bad. So make sure that you feel good and invest time in that, because whatever you feel, they will feel too. And show them that it is okay to sometimes choose for yourself, which is difficult because I always like to choose for my children. But I also need to teach them that I sometimes need to choose for me. I need to say like, no, mommy needs like 50 minutes me time now. Please do something on your own. So remember that it's okay to sometimes choose for yourself, because for later it's important that they can do that too. And then now it's hack time for all of you. So in the upcoming week, probably one of the things that I just mentioned, you have grow area, or you have something that oh, that resonates. So I give you some examples of how you can fit this into practice. So if the first thing me time is something you don't have, make sure that you have it in the upcoming week for like 10 minutes every day. Start small, but make sure that every day you have 10 minutes just for you. Give all of your kids some responsibility. Can start small, right? I started also with small things like help me cleaning the table or get some eggs from the supermarket, or it can be a small thing, but they need to do some small things to grow. Give them the freedom, your kids, to be themselves and invest in quality time. So don't invest in making sure that they walk your road. No, let them walk their own road, pick them up when they fall down, and invest in really time together with your kid. And then, last but not least, decide where it is that you want to be the best. Thank you. In the back, I think.
Yeah, who had the question? All right. Mind to step?
Yes, thank you. My question was, which platform was the babysitter that you...
I think the name was Sitly. Sitly. And there you can make an account and you can describe your situation, and then you can see which one is in the neighborhood and you can connect. It's really nice. Yeah.
Great. All the way at the front.
I'm happy
Are we
that I
gonna
said
keep
that you
doing
will do
this?
the running.
Then I need to skip my run tomorrow. That's great.
Hi. Thanks for your story. Really inspiring. I'm also a mom of 2, so I can relate to many of the things. I saw a secret hack, the trampoline in the garden.
That's
Very
also
good
a hack,
energy. Yeah. About the last hack, you said you need to choose where to be your best. And it sounded a bit to me like then you say either I'm a best mom or I'm really the best in my career. And I disagree with that. So I think you are a different version of your previous best career self, but I think you can still do an awesome job. So how do you see that, and what is it that you meant?
So I think you can do an awesome job. I think I'm still a good manager, but I think I'm also the best mom. So I think the energy that you have, you can only spend it on one thing, right? So you need to also sometimes need to make choices. Like, what do you do if both things are on one moment? So I had this dry run for Spaces Summit. I had something with my daughter too, and it's like, maybe I can. No, I'm the best mom first, so I will go with my daughter. And I said to Space Team, sorry, I cannot be there with the dry run. So I think it also helps you in prioritizing where it is that you need to make your choices. But I don't think you can do all the things together. That's just not feasible, at least I think. And then I choose to be the best mom. And that's what I always said, also when I was CEO. I'm mom first, and then I'm the boss. It's not the other way around. I'm first the mom.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I'm wondering maybe if you could talk a little bit about a bit more about me time in the morning versus me time in the evening. Because I will say from experience, this is something I always tried to kind of cram it in at the end. But I'm wondering maybe if you can walk us through your thought process, like why you chose to do that in the morning instead of in the evening.
So if I like to do it in the evening, then sometimes I'm tired. It's like 9 o'clock and then everybody is sleeping. Or they don't want to go to sleep and then you're still busy with that. And then when everybody is sleeping and it's like around 9-ish, I'm tired and I don't feel like having me time anymore. Sometimes I just don't have the energy for it anymore. And that's why I started to do it in the morning. Of course, I need to wake up like 1 hour earlier. And in the beginning that was difficult, but after some time you get used to it and you really see the benefit of already having it when the kids are still asleep. And I start my day so much more energized than if I do it at the evening. I already did it before everybody wakes up. And I don't need to think about, oh, maybe I don't feel like it this night, or maybe the kids will come out of the bed like 20 times. No, it's just, I already have this in the pocket. So that's why I do it in the morning when everybody is sleeping. And sometimes kids wake up also like at 6:30, and then I just adjust my schedule. But yeah, I have more time and energy in the morning to do it than in the evening. That's why I did it.
All right.
Hi, thanks for this, very inspiring. About that adjusting, I see why you don't want to do it in the evening, because then yourself becoming an afterthought of the kids, right? So that doesn't make you the best version of yourself. Circling back to the morning routine, I try to do it myself as well in the morning, but then our oldest son, he wakes up at 6 as well. So that's an issue, right? Because it's a structural thing.
Yeah.
How do you prevent yourself from becoming an afterthought then?
Wake up at 5? But really, right? So this guy,
Yeah.
you need to read his book, I would say, Miracle Morning.
I must say I have it at home.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I put yeah.
Read it because it was inspiring. And
No,
he
yeah,
started at 6 and then he started like, just 1 hour me time. No,
Yeah.
I want 2 hours me time. I'm going to wake up at 5 and then I have 2 hours just for me.
I'll
So
have to give it another go.
yeah.
I put
Or
it
maybe
aside.
start with 5:30.
I tend to go for a run at that time sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, earlier. Thanks.
So does anyone know a place where you can buy books? I don't know.
But if you wake up like at 6 o'clock, how do you make sure that you still also get your night's sleep? Because if I look at my schedule, I have once in the week, no, twice in the week I go sporting, once in the week I go play a game with friends. In the weekends we almost also have something to do on the evenings. If I then wake up at 6 o'clock every morning, I would get at most 6 hours of sleep each night, probably less.
Yeah,
because
so
I'm
you
still
need
also awake during the night.
to sacrifice something else, right? So I go to bed like around 10 to make sure that I have 8 hours sleep and wake up at 6. So again, you can only do one thing. You cannot do everything. So then maybe you need to see if you can at least in some nights start small, right? Don't start it the whole week, but in some nights go to bed a little bit earlier so you can have the sleep but also wake up early.
Okay, thank you.
Right, another question over here. There we go.
Hi. You mentioned like being the best mom. Is that something that only works when you work at Bol, or do you think you can do that at every company to choose the battles?
I think you can choose it everywhere, but I think in Bol it's more easy to do it because Bol is a pretty flexible company, right? With the company where I was CEO, I could also do it, but then there was also times that I needed to do stuff for the company because you just are the boss. But I think at Bol you're all privileged, and maybe you don't know it because you didn't work with different agencies, but you're privileged that you can make this decision. But again, there also start with small things. I think for me it's important to just know where my priorities are. And sometimes I can also explain to kids like, well, this meeting, mommy needs to be there, so I will catch up later, or I will do it like this. But yeah, just have this in your mind, I think will help you in making the decisions. And Bol is just a great place to be able to do this.
Okay. Any other questions? Right. Last one. Final question, I think. There you go.
Hello, and thanks for the talk. Hey, I was very curious. How about me time when the kids are with M1 or M2?
They are just there once a weekend, every 2 weeks. So always during the weeks they are with me. So yeah, I have like 1.5 day me time when they are both with M1 and M2. But that's not enough, right? Because in the weeks after it, I also need it. I start to get cranky if I don't do it. So you also need time in the week to have this me time. But yeah, if they're both all with their dad, only the oldest one is not going. But then I also have some me time, which is nice. Then I can also, I don't know, lay on the couch, be with friends. Don't do it too much. But I don't think it's enough for the whole. You need it structurally, every week, every day, again.
All right. And on that note, time for structure. Thanks a lot,
No,
Patricia.
thanks. Thank you.
Give her a great hand. All right, so in 10 minutes, the bullshit bingo will be here with Taco, which is it's gonna be hectic. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome. But there's also great other talks in other rooms. They all start in 10 minutes. And enjoy Spaces Summit.